Going to be tying my Muskie titanium bite tippet system that I use for tying my flies on with a bite tippet that is far superior to anything else I've ever used. We've got 20-pound test single strand titanium wire, 30-pound test 17 thousandths shock tippet, so it gives us a little shock in the system, pair of pliers, pair of wire cutters, and the tie fast knot tying tool. I'm going to start by placing the mono. I'm using a high vis mono here. Hopefully this will be a little easier to see. And I'm going to place that right down the center of the tie fast tool with about 8 or 10 inches of extra hanging out there. Wrap the mono back up the barrel of the tool 8 wraps. And I'm going to pinch and hold the mono with my index finger. Take my titanium wire. I'm going to slip the wire through that barrel of wraps underneath of the standing line and back out the edge of the tool. I can then grab the end of the wire and slip it back into the tool underneath of the standing line again. So now I have the end of the wire pointing towards the end of the leader. Take my tag end of mono. I'm going to push that through the barrel also and have it come out pointing the same direction. This is a modified Albright knot. On a normal Albright knot, the tag ends would be pointing opposite ways, but we don't want the tag ends to hang up on the weeds, so we're going to make them all point towards the hook eye. Once I have everything slid into position here, I'll grab the mono around the tool, pinch it tightly, and slide the tool out of the way. Now I've got everything pinched in my fingers here. Take the mono, tighten it up on this side. You can actually feel those loops pulling through your fingers. And I'll pull it tight on the other side. Tighten again once more on this side. Now when I remove my fingers, you can see that the knots are more or less lined up. As I pull on the mono real tight, those loops will fall right into place. An important aspect of this knot is that you have to make sure that that line is trapped around the wire, so that when you pull on the wire, the standing mono is what locks the knot together and keeps that wire from pulling out. At this point, I grab the line with my pliers, pull real tight on the pliers to tighten up on the mono. Then I'm going to grab the end of the wire, pull tight on the wire until it comes down and snubs up against the end of that knot, and that's it. It's all formed. All we have to do at this point is cut off the excess. Take my wire cutters, trim off the excess right next to the end of the knot. Get that out of the way. And there it is, a real nice, smooth, streamlined knot with no tag ends hanging to get in the way of the catching the weeds. Now when I tie the fly to the titanium wire, I go through from the bottom of the hook eye, come around the top, 4 wraps of wire around the standing end. This is a standard clinch knot with just 4 wraps, and then back through the eye, back through the loop right by the eye. Grab my pliers, pull that knot so it's snug but not tight, and you'll notice when I tied it now the wire ends up at the bottom of the fly. I'll give that wire a little bend and trim it off so that it's about 1/4 inch long. It won't hang up on itself, it won't hang up on the weeds, and you're ready to go out and fish it. And not even Moby Dick can pull that knot tight at this point.